So what if you could see what the drone sees regardless of the way that the drone is flying? So the DJI Mini 5 Pro has a new and powerful feature called Vision Assist, and it may just completely change the way that you fly your drone. Now most pilots don't even realise that this exists, let alone of what it actually does. And luckily it's not just another setting that's buried away in the menu somewhere, and it could make the difference between you having some really nice cinematic footage or having to crash your drone. So in the video, I'm going to show you exactly what Vision Assist does, why it was added by DJI, whether or not it's going to actually make your flights safer or just more complicated, and how to use it properly, because the chances are you're not using it at all. Hi and welcome back to the channel. Well, if it's your first time here, my name's Andrew and thanks for joining me. If it's not your first time here, obviously it's still Andrew and thanks for coming back. So if you're new to drones, or DJI drones especially, you're not going to be aware of Vision Assist. So in the video, I'm going to go through exactly what it does and why it's one of the most underrated upgrades on the DJI set of drones. And before I get started, I'm not sponsored, so if you could do the like, subscribe, notification and the hype, that would be greatly appreciated, as it does help the channel grow. So basically, Vision Assist is essentially a real-time visual awareness system that's built into the drone, and it uses the same cameras that the drone uses for obstacle avoidance to show you what's happening around the drone, not just in front but also behind, to the sides and below. So instead of relying just on the obstacle avoidance warnings you get on the remote, the Vision Assist will give you a live overlay of any potential hazards. So the Mini 5 Pro does use its wide-angle vision sensors placed around the aircraft, and these sensors are continually scanning the environment and sending feedback to your controller. Now on the controller you will see the warnings of obstacles like trees, buildings, poles, anything that can cause a crash, and those are going to be with red and orange markings on the screen. But it doesn't actually show you what those obstacles are. So this means you need to rely on the line of sight or the basic proximity alerts. Now with the Vision Assist, it's going to take that a step further by giving you context. So instead of just hearing a warning beep, you'll actually see where the danger is. Now this is especially useful when you're flying in tight spaces, when you're shooting cinematic tracking shots, you've got difficulty navigating some sort of urban environment, or you're flying backwards, which is where, to be honest, that's where most crashes happen. So let's say you are tracking a cyclist through a forest trail. You are going to be focused on actually framing the shot, but behind your drone there's going to be a branch coming up fast. Now normally you probably wouldn't notice it in time, but at least with Vision Assist you're going to get a live rear view, and that could show the obstacle quite clearly. And this means then that you can go on and adjust your flight path instantly. There's no guesswork or there's no panic, and this is going to be a huge advantage for both beginners and experienced pilots. Now, if you're wondering what the difference is between obstacle avoidance and Vision Assist, the obstacle avoidance is going to make the drone react automatically for you. Whereas with the Vision Assist, it's more informational and it's going to help you make better decisions. It's like if you're driving a car and you've got the car braking automatically versus a driver seeing everything through the mirrors and cameras. And honestly, having systems working together is going to be much more beneficial when you are flying the drone, especially if you are in complex or urban environments. But obviously you need to bear in mind that Vision Assist isn't perfect, and there are a few things that you need to consider. Firstly, it can be harder in low light conditions to see what's coming on, and obviously if you've got very thin obstacles like wires or very thin branches, these are still going to be difficult to detect. So it does require you to pay attention to what's on the screen. Now while it is a powerful tool, it's not a replacement for good piloting skills. It's just a basic upgrade or something to assist you, to give you more of a safety net when you're flying your drone. So as a result, it is going to mean that you're going to get a lot of benefits from this, whether or not you're a beginner, because it's going to grow your confidence, whether or not you're going to be a content creator, because that's going to give you smoother shots and safer shots, or whether or not you'd like to fly in an FPV style, because it's going to give you control in more dynamic environments. So as I said, if you are flying in complex areas or pushing creative boundaries, having the Vision Assist on your screen can make a massive difference. Okay, if you are finding it useful, if you could do the like, subscribe, notification bell and the hype, that would be greatly appreciated. There's also an option there for buy me a coffee or to do a super. Any funds I get from that are also going to go towards the channel, with things like the new Avoidance 360 drone, which is due out in the next couple of weeks. So that would be greatly appreciated too. So when the drone is in the air, you can see that you've got your normal map icon down in the bottom left. Now if you swipe on that, that's going to bring up the Vision Assist screen. So if you tap on the Vision Assist screen, it's going to make it full size. And you can see then from the icon you got on the bottom, you can see the drone, and the green is showing you which direction the camera is facing. So at the moment, the camera is facing forward. So if I press on that, you can see it's going to bring me up 5 options. And that's going to be forwards, backwards, left, right and down. Now, depending on which way I want to view, I can just press and it's going to change the direction to whichever camera view I want to do. So in this case, I've chosen the one from behind, and you can see that the green is behind the drone. Again, if I just press on it and I pick the one on the other side, so this means the view is now going to be on the left of the drone. And similarly, if I tap the other side, it now means that it's going to switch over to the right. And the last option it's going to give you is for the arrow, and that's going to show you the view straight down. Now once you've got the view you want, you can just lock that in. So all you need to do is to press it, and you can see then that it changes to a yellow lock symbol, and that shows you that you can't change it. Now once the drone starts moving, it doesn't matter which view you've actually selected unless you've locked it in, because the drone is going to switch automatically to that view. So even if you've got the drone set to view to the left and you fly forward, the drone is going to switch the view to the left. Similarly, if you're flying backwards, the drone is just going to switch to the rear view part of the camera. So you can see here that I've got the drone facing forward, but the minute I bring the drone backwards, it's going to change angles to the rear camera. And again, if I'm going to move the drone forwards, it's going to switch again to the forward camera. And if I try to descend the drone, it's going to switch to the lower camera. So this means the drone is automatically going to switch camera views depending on which way the drone's going to be flying, just for added safety and security for yourself. But you can actually change this. So if I've got it set for forward and I lock that in, now if I move backwards, the drone is still going to keep the camera on the front view. You're not going to get the camera on the rear view. So always I would suggest making sure you don't have the lock on, because you want to make sure that the camera view is what you're actually seeing, because that's the way that the drone's going. It also doesn't matter what your settings are on your camera, whether you're filming in vertical or horizontal. It makes no difference, because this is purely a feed coming from the camera. It's not going to affect anything that you're actually recording. It's just for information purposes. Now, if you want to as well, you can hold and press the Vision Assist screen and you can move it elsewhere. So that means you're going to have 3 boxes on your screen. You're going to have your main view, your Vision Assist and your map. So that's going to give you more information about exactly what's in the area. And if you want to dock it again, you just need to press the bottom left hand corner, and that's going to move the icon back to where it should be. So this means you can move the screens wherever you want them. Now, if you're looking at your main view or using the map screen, you can have the Vision Assist along with the secondary screen. But if you are using the Vision Assist screen, you can only get the actual main feed coming through onto your display. So you can see now I've only got the main screen, whereas if I go to the map, I've got both options there for me to view. So the way that I tend to use it is that I keep my main screen on. I have the map on the bottom left hand corner and the visual assist on the top left hand corner. And then if I'm doing any moves like flying backwards and I know roughly what's in the environment, I'll have the Vision Assist as the main screen, because that's the one I want to keep an eye on when I am doing more tricky maneuvers or flying backwards or sideways. So it really is a fantastic safety option when you are flying in difficult environments. But you do need to bear in mind that the Vision Assist is just that, it's just an assist. You're not going to get the quality of detail on the screen that you would get from the front camera. So for example, if I show you, that's the view that I've got of these twigs in front of the drone. But yet if I switch over to the Vision Assist cameras, you can see that they are visible but not as clear. So it really is just an extra little bit of assistance you got when you are flying the drone in those complex environments. Now, Vision Assist may not be one of the flashiest features on the DJI series of drones, but in my opinion, it is possibly one of the most important, because it bridges the gap between automation and control, giving you better awareness without taking away that flying experience. And let's face it, when you are flying a drone, awareness is everything. Okay, so what do you think? Is it a game changer, or is it just a nice extra? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want any more breakdowns like this, don't forget to like, subscribe and do the hype thing. That would be greatly appreciated. There's also an option there for buying me a coffee if you'd like to do that. And any funds I get from that are going to go towards the new drone like the Avoidance 360. And I'll catch you again next time. Thanks very much.